This one tweet changed my entire life. PrizePicks had a contest in November of 2024. They were looking for sports bettors to join a team of celebrity. There was like Ruby Rose, Funny Marco, Drewski, Trent. And I literally responded to the contest, hey, when I win, I would love to be on her team. Fast forward, probably a few days later, Ruby Rose called me on FaceTime and they were just like, hey, like, we want you to be on Ruby Rose's team.
You won the competition and you're gonna be my PrizePicks teammate, girl. I'm so excited.
Long story short, me and Ruby won $100,000. Stephen A. Smith was there, ESPN, New York Times. And then the week after, we had like a few days to put together another 6-man to win $1 million. And I did.
What's up, everybody? This is Ryan. I'm the CEO and one of the founders over at DubClub. Today, I am extremely excited to host ItsNellz, the CEO of ItsNellz, on the DubClub CEO Corner podcast. ItsNellz, how are you doing?
I'm good. Nellz Bets, aka Janelle or Nellz. I'm good. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing well. I'm sitting next to a sign that I think is pretty telling for the majority of the story, but we'll dive deep into it. It's a 250K earnings club. You've only been on DubClub for a year. Actually, not even a year, right? I think
I just hit a year.
Just hit a year. Well, it's a good annual year anniversary to hit 250K on DubClub. There's a lot behind the story. This is just to start off. It's your first time in San Francisco, right?
First time ever. I've been to Cali. I've been to LA. Never in San Francisco.
Never in SF. What do you think?
I like it. It's a little different. It offers different things. It's more like kind of peaceful, laid back. I got some food.
Yeah.
Saw some
That's
sightseeing.
San Francisco for you.
Sightseeing, some water. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
It's been fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Did you get to see the Golden Gate Bridge?
No, I haven't.
No. Oh, okay. That's tomorrow morning.
Might do that tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's a must see. That's
okay, so I have to do it.
That's iconic in San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Janelle, you, again, have been on DubClub for a year, and you've been in this industry for, sports betting, creating content, at least a year, right? The audience doesn't really know how long that's been. I don't know what 5 years ago looked like for you, and I think the audience would like to know. Let's rewind back to 2019.
Wow, okay.
And let's talk a little bit about what you were doing back in 2019, and then take us through the story as it progressed, throughout the subsequent years.
Okay, so for one, I've always had a sports background in the sense I played sports my whole life. Like, I got into sports at a very young age. I want to say like 3, 4. Like,
what'd you play?
Soccer, basketball. I was playing baseball. Like, I was playing baseball so early on in my life where I was playing with boys because I was so young. They didn't separate the boys and the girls to softball. Now women's is softball. No, seriously. But I was playing baseball with my boy cousins. Like, I was playing baseball with a bunch of boys. Even I was playing basketball with boys in early ages. And then once I got to a certain age, I joined the girls team. Mm-hmm. So I've been playing sports my whole life. And with that, I just
love sports, love ball.
I love ball.
Yeah.
Basketball's
just
my
like
favorite.
many other people, 1 in 2 people in the world identify as a sports fan.
Exactly.
You actually played sports.
Yeah, I played a little volleyball in the off season, softball, baseball, soccer. I was swimming as a kid.
Jeez, when did you have any time to relax?
I didn't really. Yeah, so sports has just always been a part
of
my
my
life.
And you grew up in Massachusetts, Boston.
Massachusetts.
Right? Yeah, Worcester. I realized how to pronounce that today.
Worcester. People
Worcester.
think it's Worcester. There's no H in it, but it's like
it's like a hard C. People think.
So I get it.
So grew up in Worcester.
Yeah, but
okay, I'm probably butchering that.
Yeah, you're getting there. Okay. We're gonna work on it.
Yeah.
But even growing up in Massachusetts, like Boston area, Worcester, I was kind of spoiled as a kid to have like good sports to watch. Like, I grew up watching the Celtics, big three, like
and the
Paul
freaking
Pierce,
Patriots.
The Patriots, Tom Brady. Even like the Bruins were really good at one point. The Red Sox.
Yeah,
so
you grew up in a great Boston sports.
I grew up in a great sports community on top of playing sports. So
totally.
I've always watched sports anyways. Like,
yeah.
I remember like wanting to skip school to go to the parades and stuff like that when we would win. Mm-hmm. So just always been a sports fan. And then to answer your question, 5 years ago, in 2019, that was COVID time. So I was working a job. I went to college. I played sports up until high school. I tried to start to play in college, but I needed money. I didn't have any rich parents. I didn't have anyone, helping me, support me, besides my mom. But I had to work instead. So I kind of had to give up playing sports like I wanted to in college to make money. So that was kind of like hard for me to part ways with actually playing the game, I still kept up, you know, the gym, watching sports, stuff like that. But yeah, anyways, fast forward, I graduated 2015 with my bachelor's in criminology and sociology. And I worked with kids for about 7-8 years. I got an internship and I started working right out of college, which I loved it. I enjoyed that. But like probably wasn't something I wanted to do long term. It was just mentally kind of draining. And, you know, sometimes jobs, they don't always respect your time. It is what it is. Teachers, anyone in the social work fields, teaching, you never get paid like what you should.
Yeah, bless them. Seriously.
You just never. I loved the kids, but I was I was undercompensated.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so
it's hard work, and you don't get rewarded the way that some other professions do that frankly aren't as valuable, I think, to society.
No, seriously. I was
my
working,
perspective at least.
No, I agree. I was working weekends, holidays, like anyways, overnights.
Yeah.
Getting mandated to work double shifts. So yeah, so that was that. Long story short, I actually lost my job in 2019. That's like a whole other story. But it was like I kind of got done wrong with the job. And after 2019, I told myself, you know what? COVID happened, so that was like a shift anyways. I had to figure out what I was going to do. But I told myself, I don't ever want to give a person or a job the power to like, I just wake up one day and I lose my income. Like I lose my livelihood in my job.
You say that again, given the position you're in now, running your own business on DubClub.
It's a story, man. Yeah. So
don't want to give power away from yourself and let someone else choose your, you don't want to let someone else choose your destiny for you. And that is, working for someone else. That's what happens.
Literally. And man, looking back, I'm trying not to get emotional, but now in 2019, I haven't worked a job since. It was a specific individual that I was dealing with and my job, and it's just COVID. I just lost my job overnight, and I was like, wow, like I never want to feel like this again over a person, a company, whatever. So then I just full force got into entrepreneurship, and that wasn't right away, DubClub or sports betting, but I kind of was just, and it was COVID. People weren't working anyways, so I was kind of like fending for myself. I started like a brand back home in Massachusetts. I like T-shirts, and I was doing smoking accessories, cannabis, because cannabis started to get legal in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So that kind of taught me about like marketing, running a business, and then now, mind you, I'm still in Massachusetts. I needed a switch of scenery, opportunities. Then I moved to Atlanta, with the money I made from my business during COVID, and I was out of work anyways. I was like, what other time to move when I'm unemployed? So I took a risk. I moved to Atlanta. And then it was funny, sports betting became legal right around that time. Like Massachusetts FanDuel rolled out.
Yep.
And then I was in Atlanta, and I was like, dang, I can't use FanDuel in Atlanta. So I heard about sports betting. I was like, wow, like I'm watching sports anyways. Like this is my passion. I started just for fun. So I got on Prize Picks, and I would just post. I was winning a lot, and I would post that on Twitter. I was always active on Twitter just with my other businesses and brands. And people were like, it was grabbing people's attention. They were like, wait, you're winning. Like, you're good at this. Can you show us your picks? And I'm like, okay, yeah. Like, I was doing it for free for a while. And then it was like a joke. Like, people were like, you need to start a Discord. You need to start a DubClub. And I'm like, what's that? Like,
And I'm just putting out my bets.
And I would make jokes like, all right, Discord coming soon. You guys want it?
Yeah.
And then I started a free Discord. And then I remember getting like my first, like, I think in 24 hours, I got my first 100 Discord members, which was a big deal to start. And then it just took off from there. And then eventually it was taking up a lot of my time, which I love it. It's my passion, but it was very time consuming, and I was winning people a lot of money. So I'm like, even people who were winning the money were like, why aren't you like start charging?
Yeah. You got to get paid.
Yeah. And it turned into a job, and I'm watching the games too. I'm not just doing like the plays and the picks. So so it just took off, and I started the DubClub. I heard about DubClub. That was like the main platform. People were like, I'm like, how do I go about selling my picks? Like, people were like, well, you can sell things on Patreon or Shopify, but it wasn't geared specifically for sports betting. Yep. Because I know I tried to like use another platform, but I had to manually go in, and like I would be sleeping. I'd wake up to like 20 new subscribers, and I would have to manually go in and add people in. And then people were like, oh, DubClub, like they'll do that for you while you're sleeping. And I'm like, really? Yep. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I signed up for DubClub, and then history.
Yeah, that is right. What an awesome story. So I'm just recapping what I heard, and you fill in the gaps where I'm wrong. But basically you graduated from school, you went into a field totally different than what you're doing now. But you graduated with, you said, sociology and criminology. And then you went into basically, you know, call it the social work sector. And you're dealing with kids, working with kids a lot. That was for, you know, a number of years. And in 2019, things changed. You for one reason or another, we don't need to go deep into the story, but the work you were doing ended up coming to a halt. The job came to a halt. You said, I don't want to work for someone, you know, ever again. I'm putting my foot down and I'm going to try it in entrepreneurship. And so you started, what I hear is you started selling stuff in Boston. When you're back in Massachusetts, you were selling cannabis products, t-shirts, you know, you're just a salesperson. You get into it. And I've been there too. My parents laugh because I used to sell basically everything in our house that they weren't using. I'd ask if I could sell it, and then I put it on Facebook Marketplace. I'd, you know, negotiate with people and make a lot of money doing it. The entrepreneurship bug is real, but you caught that in 2019 and you did it for a couple of years in Massachusetts, and you thought, well, come 2022, or I think it was about 3 years ago, you decided to uproot a bit, head down to Atlanta, bet on yourself. And lo and behold, that's what helped to get you into a little bit of the industry you're in now, which is sports betting. You know, FanDuel was legalizing in, and I think DraftKings too, in Massachusetts. Prize Picks became a thing in Atlanta.
Popular,
Very popular. I think they're from Atlanta, which is really cool.
Headquarters is in Atlanta. We'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah. I'm getting to that story too. And basically what happened is you started putting out your content on X. You had a social media account. You created a Discord server. A lot of people joined Discord. And before you knew it, you had people asking you if they could pay you to get your advice. And then you kind of scrambled around a little bit, which is natural, I think, to find the right solution. And this was 12 months ago at this point. Yeah. And now you're sitting on $250K on DubClub, with your last couple of months being the most successful in terms of earnings. A lot of your business's success on DubClub has been in the last few months. And we talked a lot a couple minutes ago or an hour ago about, you know, how are you presenting yourself and why are people joining and subscribing to you? Talk a little about that really quickly. Like, for a subscriber, before we get into everything, as it stands now, for a consumer, someone looking to get advice or be part of a sports betting community that's growing and, you know, will help us, you know, help them become sharper. What's the value to them to join your DubClub?
Yeah, my DubClub, I mean, I'm just myself. I'm just completely honest and transparent. At the end of the day, we are gambling. So I tell people, you know, we're not going to win every day. But like, I dedicate, and I think my subscribers see that, I dedicate like my whole life, like a lot of my time into not only like looking at the plays, but I do a lot of live bets too, which has been like a hit lately. So I'm not just looking at data in a book.
You're watching the games.
I'm watching every game, and I like doing it anyways. Like, I do it anyways. Like, it gives me something to look forward to every day, and I'll even make an event out of it. Like, where are we going to watch the game tonight? Or I'll invite friends over. So it's a whole event. So like, not only am I picking up, like putting out plays, I give like data analysis to why I'm picking it, right? It's one thing to just say, hey, trust me, take this pick, which I get it. Sometimes I'm busy. Other sports cappers, you know, you might be busy, but people see that I'm like giving live updates. I'm looking at injury reports. I'm looking at, okay, like today, like this team just came off a back-to-back. This team just played last night. Yeah, Shea scored 40 points last night. He played Denver, a tough team. Like, he's probably going to be tired today. Like, he's going to perform well. Let's take his goblin. Or, you know, I'm looking at injury reports. The Celtics, okay, Porzingis is out. Al Horford is out. That's given Tatum so many more rebound opportunities. Like, and I'm telling my subscribers why I'm picking it. And they're like, wow, I feel like I'm learning sports too. Because I do, my DubClub taking off, I do have a lot of sports fans and people that know sports. But I do have some people that are like, hey, I don't even know sports, but I want to get on in it. You're inspiring me. You're making it like, I trust you. I'm paying you to give me your picks. I want to make a little extra money. They know nothing about sports. So that's a whole other aspect that I'm trying to get into, and I'm working on some things too. But I try to like give insight, not just on picks, but like how do we navigate through the Prize Picks app? Like how you should be betting.
Like basic advice.
Just basic stuff. And I didn't even realize that until I got so many subscribers. So I just try to like put myself in their shoes, and I just try to remember like, okay, not everyone knows sports like me. And it's kind of just like a learning experience for everyone. And my community is so amazing. Like, I haven't opened my Discord app in a few hours, but I can go in there right now, and there's people right now. There's a game on right now. So there's people like talking about the game, like, oh, Tatum, come on, what are you doing? Like, we need 2 more rebounds. And people there's other people besides me just in my premium, all my paying subscribers that are just helping each other out, teaching each other. If I'm busy, you know, they'll be like, oh, we might be waiting on Nellz plays, but they'll be like, well, she did say to take Tatum today if he's, if he's out,
Yeah.
if Porzingis is out. So it's a community too, and it's like a family. And, all are welcome, and we just have one goal to like just win. And support each other. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and it makes a lot of sense. A lot of the value of subscribing to your DubClub is the community component that you get. The social aspect and the value you get from like hearing from other people and knowing that they have your back.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've dealt with this, but as you run your community and have interfaced with people, do you feel like you come across some bad eggs sometimes? And if so, what do you do about them?
That's part of it. And I'm such a, like, I'm in tune with people. Like, I want to make everyone happy sometimes. And I'm like, oh, you're paying me your money. I want to make you all happy. But what I learned as an entrepreneur, and now it was one thing when so my Discord has 17,000 people. Like, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
And you have to come to realize, like, okay, my first 100, they were all so happy.
Yep.
My first 200, happy. Once you reach, and that's part of your goal, though. Like, when you're really reaching these goals, and you could look at any artist, athlete, LeBron is an amazing athlete, but there's always going to be someone to say something bad about him or to compare him to, Kobe and Michael Jordan.
Yep.
Those are great athletes too, but that doesn't take away that Kobe, MJ, and Michael are not all GOATs. They're not all great. So yeah, you might like LeBron more than Kobe, or you might have something to say about, but that doesn't take away from his greatness. So I'm just comparing that in a sense where, and I had to tell myself this because once I really took off after I won like the $1 million slip and all that, the world knew who I was. And now I have strangers who don't even know, who haven't been subscribed for a year, to know how I run my business, to know I'm a trustworthy person, to know I care about my subscribers. They just found about me today.
Yep.
And there's always going to be someone. There's just always going to be the critics. You can't make everyone happy, and that is okay. That's okay. Your product might not be for everyone, but guess what? There's so many more people out there that love you, love your product, and it works for them. And there's few people, feel free to unsubscribe. And I tell people, I guarantee you're going to like it here. And if for some reason you don't, and it might not be for you, I might not be for you, you might not like my style, there might be another sports capper that fits your style. That's okay, because there's so many more other people that it's working for, and it is working. Yeah,
it's a good mentality to have because the concept of there's a product there for everyone, right? I mean, look at like just smartphones. Like I have an iPhone, you have an iPhone. A lot of people have Androids.
iPhone might be as popular as iPhone is. There's some things that people like.
People
about
don't
Android.
like iPhones. Yeah, I know people personally. I won't name names that would literally rather like have a flip phone than an iPhone. It's like that's fine.
It works for them.
Yeah, but it doesn't take away from the fact that iPhone is
crushing it.
Apple's $1 trillion company.
They're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere. Yeah. There's enough people that like what they have to offer, and I think that's the case with you and with a lot of other of the creators building their businesses on DubClub. It's this reality that there are people that will like the product they're providing, and you've demonstrated that you've got something great, and it may not be for everyone, and that's up to them. And hopefully DubClub can be that destination for them to find that sports betting community that they really want to be a part of, depending on what their preferences are. That's up to us. That's not your fault. It's not your, you don't have to worry about them. Like we're trying to take care of like everyone at the same time, but make sure that you don't have to deal with the bad apples because they can bring you down.
Yeah, and what I realized, it can be a mental thing. And don't get me wrong, at first I would be like, dang, this person's not happy. Is it me? But you also got to realize a lot of people don't even understand gambling or sports. Yeah. Because sometimes I've even had people be like, you know what? Now that I look at it, your plays were great. It's just this person got injured or it was a blowout. They sat early and they didn't even know that went into it. Like, because they're not watching the games like me. No. So it's a learning experience too. And I have a lot of people too, the bad apples, they come back anyways because they're like, wow, actually, this was good. I was just overreacting. But people, there's money on the line. Whenever there's people, money on the line, there's people are going to get emotional. People are going to get but you can't please everyone, and that's like okay.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's totally okay. So, all right, 5 years ago, life was way different. 10 years ago was even different. At least 5 years ago, you were making the transition to entrepreneurship. 10 years ago, you were, studying criminology and sociology, or at least just graduating with that degree. That's incredible to look at where you've come, working for yourself, making $250K a year. That's really exciting. Now, talk a little bit, because of the trajectory of the last couple of months, your business really stood out to us. It's like, whoa, what's going on here? Like something's really working with what Janelle is doing. Talk a little bit about your success in the recent months. And then we're going to go back further after that with regards to when you got on DubClub and why. But I want to kind of catch people up with the last few months of your life, what changed personally, what changed professionally, and why were you put on the map?
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna go back a few months, probably back to November. I would say like October.
November 2024?
Yep, of 2024. Yep. I was kind of like taking off on Twitter and social media. Like I just had a lot of hot, like good weeks. And with that, you know, I was building my confidence. Even on the bad days, I was like, okay, like I'm really putting time and effort into this. Like I know what I'm doing. Long story short, Prize Picks, because that's my main, being in Georgia and Atlanta, I can't use FanDuel. So Prize Picks is like my main thing. Now I do offer chalkboard. I have a few moderators and people that work under me who give money lines and those things. But Prize Picks is like my specialty. So Prize Picks had a contest in November of 2024. So that was only, 4 or 5 months ago?
Yep.
They were announcing that they were doing a contest. They were looking for sports bettors with experience to join a team of a celebrity. There was like Ruby Rose, Funny Marco, Drewski, Trent, and people were like tagging me in it, and they were just like every like celebrity or Prize Picks partner was saying they wanted a teammate to help them win, win a slip to win $100,000. And at the time, to be honest with you, my DubClub was starting to do good, taking off, but I had just had to move. I just had some family, personal things going on, and I was like, I could use the money. Like I was kind of down bad a little bit. Yeah. And people were tagging me in it, and specifically Ruby Rose, you know, because she's a woman. I think she was looking for like a woman teammate. But you know, it was like, it's in Atlanta. We're flying the winner out to Atlanta to win $100,000. And I was on a crazy like winning streak, probably for the past maybe 3-4 weeks. And I was getting subscribers anyways, but it was only going so far, you know?
Yeah. You only have so much reach.
You only have so much reach. Yep. So, and I was like, I was super confident. I literally was like, and I say to this day, this one tweet changed my entire life. Like I literally, you can go on my Twitter now, ItsNellz. You can look at the tweet, and I literally responded to the contest. It was specifically Ruby Rose's video, and I said, hey, Prize Picks posted it and her, and I said, hey, when I win, I would love to be on her team. And I tagged her and Prize Picks. Didn't think too much of it, but I was just like, why not me? You know, I know what I'm doing. I was confident, and people were like vouching for me too, tagging me in it. And fast forward, probably a few days later, Prize Picks reached out to me. Ruby Rose like called me on FaceTime, and they were just like, hey, like, we chose you. Like, we want you to be on Ruby Rose's team. And that moment for me was just like, wow, like all this hard work. Because I hadn't reached a year on DubClub at the time, probably like 9-8 months. Yeah. But you can ask my sister. We lived together. I was really like dedicating. Like things weren't working for me in my life, and I was kind of lost on like where to go. I was praying, and I was just like, yeah. I had just moved. It was a lot, and I was just like, what next for me? Like I had just turned 30, and I'm just like, where should I go next? Like, should I go back to working with kids? Like, what should I do? Yeah. And that for me was confirmation. Like, this is where you're supposed to be. And when I tell you, like, for the 2 months before winning that contest with Ruby Rose, I like just dedicated my entire life to like growing my DubClub, marketing, sports betting, watching the games. Even my sister was like, yo, like, oh my God, like you've been in front of the TV for 5 hours, your laptop studying plays on like, yeah. And I was like, and I was like, trust me, this is going somewhere. And me winning winning to join her team in general was a big thing to me because, you know, it was a big thing. They marketed me. They didn't have to fly me to Atlanta. I already lived in Atlanta. But, you know, Ruby like posted me, and Prize Picks posted that. Just the excitement of me being on her team and me being able to tell my followers and my subscribers, hey guys, not only did I win, you guys can win too. Because it was a contest. You had to enter Team Ruby, Team Drewski. So the fact that like my subscribers, I didn't even think they were all going to pick me, but so many people back home, people that I didn't even know, they just believed in me so much, and they were like, Team Ruby, they all picked it. So like we won, but it was like if you win, the team you win, you get like a free lineup to win a chance of, I think it was $5,000. Oh wow, that's awesome. It's a lot of pressure though. Like as amazing as it was, I'm like, yeah. Like when you're in pressure, and now I'm like, they had my face on the Prize Picks app. Like Ruby Rose, I'm like, I can't let her down. I'm helping her with picks, you know, like that is so cool though. It was a lot of pressure. And I just like that week, I had my phone on Do Not Disturb. I have a few sports better friends. I was like, man, what do you think? Should I pick this, that? Like I was really stressing. Like I had a whole notebook And it was specifically, it had to be in the NFL. This was not playoffs, but this was like towards the NFL.
Yeah, November would have been like, week 14 probably.
So
week
it had
15.
to be a 6-man. And anyone who knows, a 6-man is so hard to hit.
Yeah.
So, the pressure, but I was like, I'm built for it. Let's do it, And I had already, had the confidence just from having, like, those good weeks and months. So I'm like, you know what? Not overthinking it. Long story short, I went to the event in Atlanta. Amazing. Prize Picks put me in a hotel, all of us in a hotel.
Wow.
With the like celebrities and their teammates. So I met like everybody else's teammate. I met like Trent's teammate, Funny Marco's teammate, Drewski's teammate. And it was cool to just meet people off of the same like passion. Like someone came in from Texas, people came in, I think someone was here from Cali, Arizona, and it was just cool to meet all different types of people who I probably would never meet in my life, but we literally came together off the strength of like sports betting.
Yep.
And it was just cool being girls too, because it was a lot of men. It is what it is. I think it was just me and one other girl teammate besides like Rubi. And
holding down the fort.
Yeah, holding it down.
Yeah.
So the event was amazing. We all sat there. We watched the like game together live. Long story short, me and Ruby won. We won the $100,000. Stephen A. Smith was there, ESPN, New York Times.
That is incredible.
They were interviewing me live, and like me and Ruby won. Shout out to Ruby, man. Like just even, she was an amazing person, funny, but she, picked me, Prize Picks. I'm forever grateful for that. Believed in me, saw something in me just off of my Twitter page.
Yeah.
It all paid off. We won the $100,000. Then with winning that, we entered a separate contest to win $1 million. Me and her each. We each had a chance to win $1 million. So that was like separate. So that was another 6-man. I think it was once I won with her, I want to say it was directly like the next week. It was all happening so fast. So me and her won the $100,000.
Yep.
And then I think like the week and a half after, I had like a few days to put together another 6-man to win $1 million. And I was like, I wasn't expecting to win back. Like, I mean, I believed in myself, but I was just like, I was grateful for the 100,000. But I was just like, you know what? People were like, girl, you're going to win the $1 million too. Like, do the same method, the same mindset. And, I had a few friends gave me some insight, like, because when there's that much pressure on the line, you just need someone to at least give you like some type of
you need
feedback.
A little nudge.
Like, hey, what do you think about this? You think I should do this? And
100%.
shout out to those people. But yeah, the 6-man, I was like, who did I have? I had Aaron Jones, Mike Evans, Tommy DeVito. He was like the backup quarterback for the Giants.
Yeah.
Like I did some wild, risky ones, but you kind of had to do it. Who else? Saquon Barkley to get 2.5 receptions. We just did the research together, and it all just lined up. It all made sense. Injury reports, all that, the matchup, who was playing home. And man, I was down. The first, Mike Evans he was easy. I had Pat Mahomes passing, he hit. Mm-hmm. So it was spread out throughout the whole day. Because if you know NFL Sunday, there's like the 1 p.m. games.
Yep.
Then there's the 4 o'clock games.
And then Sunday
there's the Sunday night football. So I'm waiting all day. My first 2-3.
But it had to all be on Sunday. You couldn't take anything from the Monday night
they
game?
gave you strict rules about it.
Okay.
So it was.
Yeah. So I want to like set this up.
Yeah.
Because so for the 100,000 prize, you're in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. There's celebrities, all around. They put you up in a hotel. You're treated like a celebrity, which you are totally.
Right.
And you have to make a 6-man pick. Mm-hmm. So it's the audience. If someone stumbles upon this, on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever, and they are wondering like, all right, what's a 6-man and what did this competition entail? Talk to us about that. What did you have to do and what were the rules for the $100,000 winnings?
So a 6-man is basically like if you're on Prize Picks, for example, or it could be on FanDuel, whatever app. It's just picking 6 different players.
Yep.
You can't pick the same player. So literally 6 different players, which normally the more players you put on a slip, the riskier it is. That's just what it is. Because now you're trusting in not 2 or 3 people, you're trusting in 6 people to show up, do their job, not get here early, not get a blowout. It's just pretty risky. So Prize Picks, and I get that. They weren't going to just easily, because it was a free pick. I didn't have to put up any money. So Prize Picks is giving me a free opportunity to win $100,000 and $1 million. They weren't going to make it too easy, but we all had rules. Basically, for both 6-mans, it just had to be strictly just NFL Sunday. Like, I believe the first one with me and Ruby, so it was 6 picks. The first 2 picks had to be a 1 p.m. game. Then 2 had to be 4 p.m. Then 2 for Sunday Night Football. So, like, I saw some picks. 1 p.m. usually is, like, more teams play in the 1 p.m. Like 1 p.m. is usually like 6 to 8 different teams.
Yeah, it's 1 p.m. Eastern. For us, it's 10 a.m., which is really funny. Yeah, Californians.
Okay, so you guys are used to, well, I didn't even think of that. So you guys, it's 10 a.m. games.
10 a.m. is like, you got to get up on Sundays because that's when most of the games happen. And then it's 1:15 is usually when the next games start. So we'll say the
first batch of games.
First batch,
the early games on Sunday.
Yep.
Usually most teams play. So it's like I have
higher volume.
Yeah, I just had more people to like choose from, but I'm like, shoot. And usually Sunday Night Football is just 2 teams. Yeah. It's just 1 game. So I had to like really like study teams and players that I normally wouldn't look into. Who played Sunday night with me and Ruby? It was the Chargers and the Bengals, I want to say. And I normally, like, those aren't normally my favorite teams to bet.
Yeah, I mean,
they're
tough.
So I had to think outside the box. You gotta,
But so then how did you win versus like Trent and his teammate? Like, what if you guys both cashed the ticket?
Okay, so it was basically whoever made the most amount of. Okay, so
it's like highest reward.
It was highest payout, and whoever.
Got it.
So we all had to.
So you had to put together something risky.
Yes. So everybody had to. Hit a 6-man. But as you guys know, well, if you don't know, PrizePicks has props. They're called Demons and Goblins, where there's some easier props. Basically, you could lower the line. Say they have LeBron to score 20 points. Yep. But you want to lower it to 15. Now it's like more guaranteed it's going to hit, but you're not going to get paid out as much because it's like, and then there's Demons where it's like, okay, they have his line at 20. I think he's going off tonight. I'm going to take 30. Now you're boosting your payout. That's more riskier. So everybody, just given circumstances, basically all they said was either if everybody, like if no one hit a 6-man, if someone hit a 5-man, they won. And then if it came down to it where everyone, let's say everyone hit a 6-man or no one hit a 6-man or a 5-man, there was just 3 people that hit a 4-man, whose payout is higher. Because PrizePicks goes by multipliers. So me and Ruby had, I want to say we had at least 1 goblin prop, 1 or 2, because my logic was, okay, a 6-man is hard to hit. I would imagine at least everyone's going to have at least 1 goblin maybe or something. I wasn't worried about that because it's just like, let's just get the win, because everyone probably focused on the 6-man or focused on. So on the first contest, me and Ruby didn't even hit a 6-man. I want to say we hit 5 out of 6, but like Drewski hit, I think 4 out of 6. And he came closest to us. I think everyone else only hit 2 or 3 out of 6. It's 6-man is hard to hit. Me and Ruby hit the most. And then fast forward to the $1 million one. That wasn't me in a contest with everyone else. That was just me by myself and Ruby like to win $1 million. And I had to hit every 6th pick, and I did.
Wow. Okay. All right. So recapping, that is awesome. And thank you for explaining. Actually, you explained goblins and demons really well.
Thank
Basically, you. If I have $10, I'll just simplify it.
Yeah.
$10 and I see a goblin on the board. I'm making up numbers because this isn't actual numbers, but like I see a goblin on the board that takes LeBron's points down from 22 to 17. And instead of my payout at 22 being 10 to win 20, it's going to be 10 to win 15.
Yep.
Because it's just like, it's lower risk. Hey, LeBron's going to probably score 17 points or more. So I take the over, take the goblin. Now with a demon, it's the inverse where, you can boost LeBron's points, the line to be 30, from 22 to 30. And then my payout's going to be higher because I just increased the risk. It's just kind of associated with that. And it sounds like for you to put together a 6-man where you're increasing the potential payout so that you can beat the others in the competition, you had to be really strategic about what you picked. Like, hey, there's a couple of demons. I want to get that. And I want to go maybe safe here, but like something where you're trying to put it together so that you can increase the payout and ultimately win. And then it sounds like the first competition you had to win 100,000, you guys hit 5 of 6, which is still really hard.
Yeah.
And with strict rules, 2 picks per game, the first slate in the morning, second slate in the afternoon, and then Sunday night game. And then to win $1 million, it sounds like you entered that yourself and you hit all 6.
The stars were aligned with that one. Let me tell you.
How did you put that slip together?
It was so much pressure. I literally got in the lab. Like, I took out notebooks. I spit everything out at first. Like, everything that crossed my mind, like a potential. Like, I looked at the board. I looked at who was playing. I use Outlier for my research. I use other things too, StatMuse, but Outlier is at the time my main one. And just looking at the board, looking at the matchups. I have my like certain favorite players, and I'm just like, okay, this looks I just wrote everything down before even like digging deep into it.
Mhm.
And then I narrowed it down. Like I just, I think I started off with like 20 because it was a 6-man. Probably
Yeah.
like 21, 22 picks.
So these are like 22 that I like. You know, I'm not I'm not in love with any particular ones yet, but I've narrowed it down.
And then I did like put a star next to like ones I like loved.
Yeah.
I think like I loved Pat Mahomes, like passing yards. I forget who they were playing.
Do you remember why? Yeah. Do you remember why you loved it? Like, what tells you? Is it the data? Is
I think
it just
they had his
having
line
watched
just a
him a
little
lot?
low. Like Pat Mahomes, like up into the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He was just like hot. Like now this is like a little before playoffs. So it's just like I want to say they were playoffs was approaching where like the games mattered. Like your record was starting to matter to see if you were going to make playoffs and then advance or like. So the Chiefs were just like pretty hot at the moment. Pat Mahomes, and I want to say the matchup. I look at like I forget who the team was. I wish I remembered, but let's just say he was playing. I don't know, the Steelers, and let's just say I looked at. I think his history against the Steelers, like he always threw like close to 300, and they had his line like
he just cooked him.
Just had his line a little low, like it was like 210 or something, 215, and I was just like, okay, that's like 100 and some change every half. This is like, you know, his receivers were healthy at the time, like
weather's gonna be fine.
Yeah, weather was good. And it. One thing I'll say, go with your gut. Sometimes I can't explain it. I don't know what it is. Like when everything just matches, like everything matches up. Like sometimes when you're looking at picks, you're like, okay, this all looks good, but I don't know. The last time he played this team, he just did really bad. Like, yeah, he's on a 10-game winning streak, but like his teammate is injured. It could be a blowout, and it's like the matchup history doesn't. Everything just lined up. I think I want to say it was like the matchup history, not many injuries. Like the other maybe team quarterback was injured, or like they had their second string in, or one of their main receivers were out, or. Just it was like a good matchup, a good day. I think he was playing at home. He was playing in Kansas City. Like everything just lined up. So I just got that gut feeling. Like I'm like, oh, I feel like this line is even lower than it should be. Yeah. Everything lined up. Mike Evans, him and Pat Mahomes and Mike Evans, they hit it like easily. And then I want to say Aaron Jones. I took his receiving yards. Now, if you know football, he's a running back. Yeah. My sneaky thing sometimes is taking running backs receiving yards, like him, Saquon. Because
Christian McCaffrey.
They're going to still get the ball. And a lot of times their receiving is a lot lower than their rushing, where it's just like all he needs is 2 good catches. And he might have had some receivers out. So it's like, you know, they're going to look to them. So I took Aaron Jones receiving yards. I think it was like maybe 19 or 20. Oh, yeah. Anything like under 20 for like people like him is like cool. It might have been like 20, 25, 21, 22. It was like
but close enough
close
that you were like, okay, this looks good. This feels right.
That game went into, I want to say that was the game he went into overtime. Oh, wow. Like it was like down to they were playing the Bears. I could never forget these images because it was to win $1 million.
They're burned into your head.
My mom was calling me. My friends were texting me. At one point I was like, damn, he might not hit this. Like time was running out. I think he was sitting at like, he only needed 1 catch. He was sitting at like 17 or 18. Yeah. I'm talking he needed 2 or 3 more yards. And I'm like, damn. Went into overtime. They played the Bears, and I was like, he might get it. Sure enough, overtime gets I want to say the first drive gets the catch. I'm like, wait a minute. And then there was someone else too. There was like another crazy, Tommy DeVito, the crazy, the backup.
Giants backup.
They were like, I want to say the Giants were losing horribly. Yeah. Like getting blown out. I want to say at halftime, I think I took his passing and rushing. Yeah. Because my logic was he's going to rush it too. My logic was he's playing in New York. He had family there. He has something to prove. You know, he's backup quarterback. Yeah. And I want to say they had it low, like 175. I want to say at halftime, he had like 30 passing yards. Like not even close. Yeah. Like nothing was landed. Yeah. Halftime comes out. He's throwing it. I forget who it is. They just start catching it.
Malik Neighbors, maybe?
Malik Neighbors, yeah, he just made like a 20 dot, 30-yard dot. I'm like, wait a minute. And then
it's just like that. He's above 100.
Just quick. Yeah. And then the game got close. It was down to like the last 2 minutes. And I want to say he needed 20 more yards, and they sat him. I don't know what it was. They sat him, and I'm like, I think they were getting blown out maybe. And I was just like, I don't know what it was. They put him back in for like the last minute and a half, and he hit it. And I'm like, wait a minute. Wow. And then there was like another, Zach Ertz, I want to say, for Washington. What happened with him? I think he cashed on the last drive, like 20 seconds.
Wow, so half of the slip was
It was a sweat.
Like down to the last minute.
Yeah, down to the wire. And that's when I was like, you know what? I might get, like, I think I'm going to get, like, once Aaron Jones went into overtime, once.
You're like, the stars are lining up.
Yeah, the stars are lining up. And even my mom, she called me. She was like, you're going to win the $1 million. She's like, I'm afraid. I asked for a sign. No joke. She was like, I'm driving and the license plate in front of me. This is before overtime. Yeah. Like we were waiting on Aaron Jones in overtime, like before he caught it. She's like, the license plate in front of me read Jones. I swear to God, I cannot make this up.
Wow.
My mom told me that. And I was like, wow.
That's a sign.
I think it's meant to be. So we cashed. We were down to Sunday Night Football. All I needed was Saquon Barkley to get 2.5 receiving yards. And that was probably one of the easiest ones on the slip.
Yeah, unless he got hurt.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Targets.
Receiving
targets.
Oh, Oh, gosh. Yeah.
He just needed the ball thrown to him 3 times. He didn't even need to catch it.
That's a great bet.
And I think he got that before halftime.
Oh, yeah.
Prize
and then you're just chilling.
Prize Picks called me when I was down to like 5. They were like, crap, like, you might win this. Like, you need one more leg. They were like, can we set you up at a sports bar, like, and send out a crew? Like, they paid for me and everything, like a little section, food, drinks. Yeah. Invite some friends. They had a camera crew, and they were
so they can get content.
And they were like, because we think you might hit this. Like,
yeah.
Because their headquarters are in Atlanta. So that was like, because in the beginning of the day, I'm like, okay, I'm just like, if it's meant to be, I already won the 100,000. Cool. Once they kept hitting, like the 1 p.m. games hit and the 4, I'm like, wait a minute. And then I just needed Saquon. I'm like, it was like life-changing. My heart. And I was just like, I felt good about it though. And then I'm like, I already won the first one. Prize Picks set me up. I'm like, okay. They like, people believed in my picks. And I had hundreds and I had thousands of people from Twitter who like tailed that exact same slip. So the fact that like I cashed people out, to this day, people are like, that's the biggest. People trusted in my 6. They were like, okay, $1 million are on the line. Yeah. This girl did some research. Yeah. I had a friend back home. I want to say he put. Now they're betting with their money. I had a free opportunity. Yep. I think I had a friend. If you know a 6-man, the more people you put on your slip, the higher payout. Yep. Had a friend back home put 400 on the 6-man. He won 10 grand. Wow. A lot of people were like, won like over 1,000. They were just is like, awesome. If you cooked up a $1 million slip, like we know you didn't, like we know you took your time. Yep. Yeah, it's like this is as high a probability as we can get. Like, so it wasn't just about me. It was like the fact that I cashed out like my DubClub. I posted like it to the DubClub too, like the 6-man, of course. Yeah, the $1 million 6-man. That's pretty freaking like, cool. Everyone cashed out. Yeah, I'll never forget that. Yeah, that is so special and such an incredible accomplishment too. Did you get paid the $1 million? Like, did they wire to your account? Like, how did that work? I got paid. People were like, "Oh, it's promo money." The thing is, normally when you're on like, when you're just a regular person, like Prize Picks gives out free lineups or promo money. Yeah, you do get paid promo, but the fact that I entered an actual contest, like, that doesn't happen every day where Prize Picks is just giving away a contest. No, like you're in a competition. It was a real competition. It was real. Like I signed paperwork and stuff, like a tax form. Yeah. And when I won, they emailed me the tax form. They're like, all right, so here's some of the money that goes to Uncle Sam, and then the rest goes to. No, actually, they sent me to the headquarters, all that. They wired me. I swear to God, they wired me the whole $1 million. I'm gonna have to pay. Yeah, you have to pay taxes on that. Yeah. But and that itself was a whole other experience. But like, that's amazing. I had to put some money aside. I had to hire overnight. I've never in my life touched anywhere near this. I woke up one day. I kept checking my bank account every day. They were like, it's coming. I had to do like a tax form, W-9 form or whatever with Prize Picks. Yeah. So I had set up with like a Prize Picks advisor, like their billing department or their financial department, whatever. I met people for every department. They were texting me, getting my information, banking, routing number. Now they had already wired me the money when me and Rubi won. So at this point they had already had it. Yeah. $1 million took a little longer to hit than the 50, 100,000. But you trusted they'd be good for it. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's Prize Picks. I've been dealing with them anyways, gambling my money. When I win, I get paid out. But $1 million was, but no, you had people question it. Did you really win $1 million? And now I don't really want to prove or need to prove that I won $1 million. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I woke up, I was waiting. I woke up one day. It probably took. Life's different. Took a little less than a week, and I looked at my account. I ran to my sister's room, called my mom, took a screenshot, and I was like, did you cry? I did. Yeah, I might cry now just thinking about it. I cried. You know what? I didn't even cry at the $1 million, I don't think. It was like a emotional roller coaster all month. Yeah. I think I cried when I won the 100,000 because I like that. I mean, that's a lot of money. That was enough, and that was just confirmation. Yeah. I think I even cried when I won the contest the first round with Prize Picks choosing me because it was just such confirmation. I'm like, I'm on the right path.
Totally.
Like,
It's more spiritual than it is like monetary.
And I had told you, I'm not even joking. Weeks before, I was like praying, like, what should I do next? Like, I was even starting to apply to some jobs, and I was getting.
And that's really hard in this world of like being a creator online. Like, you don't always know.
You don't know if
you're doing the right thing until you get that big break. And I think it takes a lot of time for people to see that.
Prize Picks and Rubi, that alone, picking me to win, like that gave me so much exposure in itself.
Yeah.
That was like confirmation, and that was such a blessing. And it's like, not only did they pick me, we won, and then I went to win $1 million.
Yeah.
So I cried a few times, and I was just so grateful. And I even now, like, it hasn't even been a full year, hasn't even been 6 months. Sometimes it's still like, I think it finally just kicked in.
Yeah.
But it's
still
took
so
time
fresh
to even kick in. I'm like, what do I even do with this money? I've never had this amount of money. I do have to put some away from taxes, but
yeah, of course. Yeah. Naturally.
Yeah.
Well, Janelle, that is such a special story. I appreciate you sharing that with us and being vulnerable, how you're feeling, and the reality of like, wow, that is a huge moment, and it's like a real thing as a person to experience. And so amazing that Prize Picks gave you that opportunity and change your life.
Change
right?
my life. Yeah.
And I want to come back to a question I want to ask before we wrap up the podcast, because it's important. You have this separate revenue stream, like that's consistent, right? You won $1 million, and then you've got your revenue stream on DubClub of people paying you. You have thousands of active subscribers paying you to get, your plays, the content, the information, the community experience around your DubClub. Talk a little about what you were doing before you started taking payment.
When I was like a while ago when it was just free.
Yeah, when you were free, and then like what did you use? How did you start accepting payment? What were those tools like? And then how did you find DubClub?
Okay. Yeah, so when I was doing the free one, I was just posting on Twitter, and then I was like, I need a specific separate space to just post like pics to people who want them, because I'm not just gonna post them online. Yeah. People might not want to see it, but I started a free Discord, and I just sent out the link, like, here's my free Discord, and I underestimated the time that went into it because I was doing it for free and I was new. It's a job. It's a job.
Yeah.
So
with no one paying you, it's a free job.
For free, and then I'm helping people win money.
Yep.
Excuse me. So, and then that's kind of the point of having it free. Anyone who's looking to get into sports betting or creator, you do want to build that trust with the community first. So it's like, who am I? Like, I'm not just gonna be like, hey, out of nowhere, hey, I'm selling sports picks. Subscribe to me. Yeah. No, you want to prove yourself. So the point of a free subscription, I want to say I had a free one, maybe 2 to 3 months, and before I even had an official free one, I was still like sharing my winning slips on Twitter. So like enough people trusted, enough people saw. It's not just I won once or twice or I had a hot week. Yeah. No, I was consistently winning. I'm watching the games. I know what people are like, oh, you actually know what you're talking about. Like they were like, men, like, oh, you know the game. I'm like, I played. Like, I know it. So I think the free part is important no matter what, because you want to give people a preview. You want to build trust. You want to show people
credibility.
People are investing their money into me. I don't take that lightly. So I don't want to just take your money. I want to show you a preview of what you're going to get. And I just want to show you, I know what I'm doing. Yep. So that was that. And then, I was just like, okay, how do I go about selling? And to be completely honest, the only thing I knew at the time to sell things on was like Patreon. And I think I first set up through Patreon, but someone I knew was like selling podcast content on Patreon. So it was like, it wasn't geared specifically just towards sports bettors. Like, right? Yep. When I mentioned my cannabis brand with my products, I was selling rolling trays, ashtrays, grinders. Yep. I use Shopify. Yeah. Oh, that's just like a worldwide. You can sell anything. T-shirts, whatever you want to sell, right? Patreon is kind of like you can sell any service, I guess, product. Yeah, like digital products. Yep. Yeah. So I did that, and it was a headache because at first it was cool because I didn't have that many subscribers. I made my first announcement. Okay, I'm not just free anymore. I'm selling exclusive premium picks to you guys to get more. And I had my first, 10, 20, 30 subscribers, which is such a big deal. Anytime you sell anything, your first customer is like, whoa, someone believes in me. Like, it's cool. So I think I reached maybe almost 50. I was approaching 100, which to me was like a big deal. Yep. But it was very tedious because the fact that Patreon wasn't geared specifically just towards selling sports picks, there was no like way that they could accommodate me, I guess, like my Discord, and there wasn't like, I had to manually go in and add, like I would be sleeping. I woke up at the time, it was a big deal. I woke up to like 7 new subscribers
Yep.
and I have people messaging me, I had to manually go in, take the people, go to the Patreon, see the username, unlock something, take the people from the Patreon's Discord username, go into Discord.
Oh my gosh.
Go into my premium chat, because I offer a premium chat too, not just like the DubClub, like
Yep.
a community where we can talk to each other live, like a live chat. So I had to take the username on Patreon, find out who it was. I had to tell people, message me. When you sign up for Patreon, send me proof, message it to me. What's your Discord username? Went into the Discord chat, had to manually add people. If you know how Discord works, it's not just one button. Have to give you access to like certain things, like
Yep.
can you send a message?
So you click
Can you
the
send a voice
green
note?
check box,
To
the
like
red
10 different
X,
things.
green
Yes.
check, red X to
So
like
tedious.
70 different permissions.
Can
It's
I give
absurd.
you? Then I have to not do you permission. You can't just run my Discord. You can't
Yeah.
boot people, but you can chat. You can send a voice, a emoji, a
What
reaction.
a horrible use of your time.
Yeah, it was taking up a lot of time.
And so how has DubClub replaced
So,
that?
like, I say that to say, people were just like, oh, like there's this app, there's something called DubClub that's literally only for sports bettors.
Yeah.
So they have a bot. You don't have to, as soon as someone signs up, you could be sleeping. People are automatically into your Discord. And
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Like, oh, they take a percentage, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. So then I signed up for DubClub, and then like, it wasn't just that though. It was like, I spoke to DubClub support people who specialize
Yeah.
in only sports creators. So like they know the problems we deal with. Like
We do.
I think I have someone from DubClub in my Discord, like the bot
Yep.
admin. He's like, it's customer support. I literally tell
Yep.
people what you guys told me. If people have issues connecting their account, I'm like, I don't know how to do it. I don't deal with it.
Yep.
DubClub support, they're gonna get right back to you.
Yep.
And I tell people, contact DubClub support if you missed the step to get into the chat. Oh, okay, I just contacted them. I'm in. So it's just like, it was a no-brainer. So yeah.
How's the experience been on DubClub?
No, it's
Since
been-
2024 February, roughly.
It's been amazing. You know, I had to learn DubClub. I was new to it.
Yeah.
But with that, it was like I didn't just sign up for DubClub. I had like coaches. It was like someone in DubClub specializes in the sales for you, and someone specializes in the Discord. And literally, I think I have half you guys' phone number on top of Twitter. Like you guys message me on Twitter, and like half the time you guys will reach out to me first. Like, hey, we noticed your first week at DubClub went really well. Like, here's some tools and tricks to sell more. And I think like Super Bowl, for example, like I would have probably never thought to like market a discount on Super Bowl. I was just so busy, and you guys were like, hey, like this is a good marketing tactic. This worked last year for our, creators. You guys give tips and tricks, and you're just there on standby to help me like learn the app. Like at first I didn't really know how to even work it and navigate it. I think at first I was asking questions like, how do I even post my plays? Or I want to run a promo, a discount.
Yeah.
Oh, this is how you do it. And then, as over time and months, we've built this relationship. Obviously, my DubClub has gone well. So now it's like, okay, Janelle knows how to run DubClub. She knows what she's doing marketing-wise. But you guys got me into the office. Like, how can we strengthen this relationship? And then you guys like to learn from me, too, as much as I like to learn from you. So
win more together.
Yeah, win more together. So it's just, I think it's a learning experience for everybody. And it's cool to build this relationship. I probably would have never met you if it wasn't for DubClub. So
I know. I'm very glad.
Yeah. No, so it's a community, and it's just knowing like most businesses, it's like you're on your own, you're selling your own business, which it is my business, but like the platform that you're selling it on is actually there to like help you too, and have your back and like grow with you. Yep. So, yeah. Yeah,
we really do care. Janelle, I appreciate all the advice and words of wisdom throughout this episode, as well as the awesome story you have.
Thank you.
As we wrap up, what is the last piece of parting advice you'd give for the audience, assuming that a lot of the people listening probably are interested in sports betting, or starting their own business online as a creator? What advice would you have for them?
Sports bettors or non-sports bettors, study your craft, just keep going, have confidence, just know there's gonna be bad days, especially in gambling. See what you're doing wrong, see maybe why your plays didn't hit. Maybe you took a risk you shouldn't have took, or maybe it wasn't even your fault. Maybe it was the player's fault, the coach. Don't lose the confidence. Run the pick again the next matchup, the next game. I have a lot of things coming. My Twitter is ItsNellz with 2 Z's, ItsNellz. My DMs are always open. I get busy now, but I'm working on some things too. I want to get some more content, streaming, YouTube going, maybe some one-on-one coaching and stuff like that. So just be on the lookout for me. I'm always open to, give any advice, share my tips. I kind of anyways on Twitter share little tips, part of my journey. I'm going to get deeper with the content, the YouTube But yeah, man, just keep going. You know, if you think sports betting and sports are for you, and you watch sports anyways, and you kind of understand the game, or you win anyways on Prize Picks, why not invest in yourself, and why not, you know, get into something like DubClub and sell your picks? Why not? It's a job. You're selling your data, your knowledge, your expertise. Yeah, just keep going.
Bet on yourself.
Bet on yourself.
It's great advice.
Never go wrong, and it
Never
doesn't always go well right away. But if you feel like you're doing the right things, you know, marketing, building trust, just be yourself, be genuine. That gets you a long way. It's fun, and it's fun too. You get to go to live games, watch the games. Yeah.
So I think the themes I heard there, we'll do the rule of 3. Number 1, bet on yourself. Number 2, know your craft, find your craft, and understand it. And then number 3, be persistent. Sounds like is really important.
Find what you're good at too. Like, you just reminded me. For example, like, I know basketball really well, right? For some reason, I'm really good at predicting who's gonna score well tonight. Or some people are just like, assist is their thing, or money lines. Even baseball, for example, hitter props. I don't know what it is. I just study hitters, the batters, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Ohtani. Now there's some people that are like really good at the pitcher's side, right? Like, you could be good at the offense or the defense. Same thing with NFL. Find what you're good at and be like, you know what? Find your interest too. Like, if you're attracted to like the hitters over the pitchers, some people are attracted to the pitchers. Pitchers aren't really my specialty. Find what you're attracted to. Find what you feel like you specialize in, that you understand, and just perfect it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Janelle, thank you for joining the CEO Corner podcast. You've absolutely crushed it. Such an inspiring story. I'm not sure how repeatable it is for someone else to win the Prize Picks $1 Million contest, but
hey, you don't think you can. I think they'll probably
might as well throw your hat in the ring.
Contest next year. Now I'm gonna come for a 2-peat.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean don't be scared of the competition.
Yeah, they're gonna have to compete with you next time.
Right,
the reigning champ.
Yeah.
Janelle, thank you for joining. Thank you all for listening, and we will be back soon on the CEO Corner podcast.
Thank you for having me, Ryan.
It's been a blast.